It was a normal Tuesday at NASA's Deep Space Network facility in Goldstone, California. The sun was setting, painting the sky in shades of orange and purple. Inside the control room, technicians were going through their usual routines, monitoring signals from various space missions. Suddenly, an alarm blared. Red lights flashed across the room. Everyone stopped what they were doing and looked at the main screen. "What's happening?" asked Sarah, the lead technician. John, her assistant, typed quickly on his keyboard. His eyes widened as he read the incoming data. "Sarah, you need to see this," he said, his voice shaking. Sarah rushed over. She looked at the screen and gasped. The sensors had picked up a massive object entering the solar system. No, not just one object. Hundreds, maybe thousands. "Is this real?" Sarah whispered. John nodded. "I've run 3 checks. It's real." Sarah took a deep breath. "Call the director. Now." Within an hour, the news had reached the highest levels of government. In Washington, D.C., President Emily Chen sat in the Situation Room, surrounded by her top advisors. The room was tense. Nobody had expected this day to come so soon. "What do we know?" President Chen asked. General Williams, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, stood up. "Madam President, the objects are definitely not natural. They're moving too fast and too precisely. We believe they're ships, a lot of ships." The Secretary of Defense spoke next. "We've activated all our defense systems. Every military base is on high alert. But honestly, we don't know if our weapons will even work against them." President Chen nodded. She looked around the room, her face serious but calm. "Ladies and gentlemen, it seems that humanity is about to make first contact. We need to prepare for every possibility." For the next few days, the world held its breath. News of the approaching fleet spread quickly. Some people panicked. Others were excited. Many didn't believe it at all. In New York, the United Nations called an emergency session. Leaders from every country came together to form a united response. It was the first time in history that the whole world truly worked as one. As the fleet got closer, more details became clear. There were over 10,000 ships of various sizes. The largest was bigger than anything humans had ever built. It was clear that this civilization was far more advanced than Earth. Finally, after a week of tense waiting, the fleet entered Earth orbit. The largest ship positioned itself directly over the United Nations building in New York. A message was broadcast on all frequencies, in perfect English. "People of Earth, we are the Galactic Empire. We have come to welcome you into our realm. Prepare for our arrival." The world's leaders gathered in the UN building. They had prepared for this moment. Earth would not submit easily. As the first shuttle from the Galactic Empire descended towards the landing pad, Earth's secret weapon was revealed. A shimmering energy field appeared around the entire planet. The alien shuttle bounced off it, unable to penetrate. Inside the UN building, President Chen smiled. Earth's scientists had been working on this technology in secret for years, reverse engineering it from a crashed alien ship found decades ago. The Galactic Empire had no idea what they were in for. The alien shuttle hovered uncertainly. Another message came through. "What is the meaning of this? Lower your defenses immediately." President Chen stepped up to the microphone. Her voice was broadcast not just to the aliens, but to every person on Earth. "Galactic Empire," she said, her voice strong and clear. "You are not welcome here. Earth is not yours to take. We are not a primitive species to be conquered. We are humanity, and we stand united against any who would threaten our freedom." As she spoke, the world's hidden defenses activated. Advanced fighter jets rose from secret bases. Plasma cannons emerged from mountain hideouts. Orbital platforms decloaked, revealing weapons far beyond what the public thought possible. The Galactic Empire's delegation watched in shock. This was not the easy conquest they had expected. They had grossly underestimated Earth's capabilities. As the first day of this historic encounter drew to a close, One thing was clear: humanity was ready to fight for its place in the galaxy. The Galactic Empire had awakened a sleeping giant, and Earth was about to show the universe what humans were truly capable of. The next morning, the sun rose over a changed Earth. The Galactic Empire's massive ships still hung in the sky, visible from every corner of the planet. But now, instead of fear, there was a sense of pride and determination among the people of Earth. In New York, the United Nations building buzzed with activity. Leaders from every nation had gathered for what would be the most important meeting in human history. They sat around a large, circular table, with President Chen at its head. "The Galactic Empire has requested a meeting," she announced. "We need to decide how to proceed." The room erupted in debate. Some wanted to attack immediately. Others suggested surrendering to avoid destruction. In the end, they agreed to meet the Empire's representatives, but on Earth's terms. At noon, a small shuttle was allowed through Earth's energy shield. It landed on the roof of the UN building. 3 aliens stepped out, escorted by human security forces. They were tall, with blue skin and 4 arms each. They wore shimmering robes that seemed to change color as they moved. The alien leader introduced himself as High Commander Zix. His voice was deep and echoed strangely in the large conference room. "We are surprised by your resistance," he said. "Most planets welcome us with open arms." President Chen smiled coolly. "Earth is not most planets, High Commander. We value our freedom and independence." Zix's eyes narrowed. "You misunderstand. We offer you the chance to join a glorious empire that spans half the galaxy. We bring peace, order, and advanced technology." "At what cost?" asked the British Prime Minister. Zix hesitated for a moment. "Well, naturally, we would need to establish bases on your planet, and we would require a portion of your resources to fuel our fleet." The room grew tense. The truth was coming out. "And what of our governments? Our way of life?" asked the Indian president. "They would need to be adjusted to fit the Empire's standards," Zix replied. President Chen stood up, her eyes flashing with anger. "So, you're not here to welcome us. You're here to conquer us, to strip our planet of its resources and turn our people into slaves." Zix looked shocked. He clearly wasn't used to being spoken to this way. "You dare accuse the Galactic Empire of..." But he was cut off as the doors burst open. A team of scientists rushed in, led by Dr. Maria Rodriguez, Earth's top xenotechnologist. "Madam President," she said, breathless with excitement. "We've done it. We've cracked their communications." With a nod from President Chen, Dr. Rodriguez activated a holographic display in the center of the room. It showed messages between the Empire's ships, translated into multiple Earth languages. The alien delegates watched in horror as their true plans were revealed. The messages spoke of subjugating the primitive humans, extracting every valuable resource, and adding Earth to the Empire's collection of conquered worlds. High Commander Zix sputtered, trying to explain, but it was too late. The Earth's leaders had heard enough. President Chen's voice was cold as she addressed the aliens. "High Commander, you came here expecting to find an easy conquest. Instead, you found a united Earth, armed with technology that rivals your own. We've been preparing for this day for longer than you know." She pressed a button, and the holographic display changed. Now it showed Earth's hidden fleet of advanced spaceships, emerging from underground bases and secret orbital stations. "This is your one and only warning," President Chen continued. "Leave our solar system now, or face the consequences." The alien delegates looked at each other, a mix of fear and anger on their faces. High Commander Zix opened his mouth to speak, but President Chen raised her hand to silence him. "We are not interested in your excuses or your threats," she said. "You have 1 hour to return to your ships and begin your departure. If you're still in our solar system after that time, we will consider it an act of war." As the alien delegates were escorted back to their shuttle, the room erupted in cheers and applause. Earth had stood its ground against a galactic superpower. But President Chen didn't join in the celebration. She knew this was just the beginning. The Galactic Empire wouldn't give up so easily. Earth had won this round, but a greater conflict was looming. As she looked out the window at the alien ships still hanging in the sky, President Chen made a silent vow. No matter what came next, Earth would be ready. Humanity would fight for its freedom, its future, and its place among the stars. The Galactic Empire had no idea what they had just unleashed. Earth was about to show the universe why you should never underestimate humans. The hour passed quickly. The world watched and waited, holding its breath. Would the Galactic Empire really leave? Or would they attack? As the deadline approached, the massive alien ships began to move. For a moment, hope filled the hearts of billions. But then suddenly, the ships turned towards Earth. The Empire had made its choice. Alarms blared across the planet. In military bases around the world, soldiers rushed to their stations. Fighter pilots ran to their advanced jets, ready to take on the alien threat. President Chen stood in the Global Command Center, surrounded by screens showing the approaching enemy. She took a deep breath and gave the order. Activate all defenses. The Empire has made its choice. Now they'll face the consequences. The first wave of the Empire's attack was a rain of energy blasts from their ships. But as the blasts neared Earth, they hit an invisible wall. The planet's energy shield, reverse-engineered from alien tech, held strong. High Commander Zix, watching from his flagship, couldn't believe his eyes. "Impossible," he shouted. "How can these primitives have such advanced technology?" But Earth's defenses were just getting started. From hidden bases in mountains and under the sea, enormous cannons emerged. They fired beams of pure plasma at the Empire's ships. Several smaller ships exploded instantly. In space, Earth's own fleet of ships decloaked. They were smaller than the Empire's massive cruisers, but they were fast and agile. They darted between the larger ships, firing precision shots at weak points. The Empire, caught off guard by Earth's strength, scrambled to regroup. They launched fighters of their own, filling the sky with dogfights. The air crackled with energy weapons and explosions lit up the atmosphere. On the ground, people watched in awe as humanity fought its first interstellar battle. In cities around the world, giant screens showed the fight happening above. Cheers erupted every time, and Earth's ship scored a hit. Back in the command center, President Chen and her team coordinated the global defense. They had prepared for this moment for years, running countless simulations. Now, those plans were being put to the test. "Ma'am," called out General Williams, "the Empire is trying to land troops in several locations." Chen nodded. "Activate the ground defenses. Show them why invading Earth is a bad idea." As alien dropships tried to land, they were met with more surprises. Hidden turrets popped up from buildings and streets, firing high-energy pulses that disabled the ship's systems. Those that made it to the ground faced squads of soldiers in powered armor, wielding weapons that could cut through alien defenses like butter. In orbit, the battle raged on. Earth's ships, though outnumbered, were holding their own. They used the debris of destroyed ships as cover, popping up to fire quick shots before hiding again. High Commander Zix was furious. This was supposed to be an easy conquest, a simple addition to the Empire's vast territories. Instead, his fleet was being decimated by a planet they had dismissed as primitive. "Enough," he roared. "Prepare the planet cracker. If we can't have this world, no one will." But before the Empire could bring their super weapon to bear, a new player entered the fight. From the far side of the moon, a massive ship appeared. It was unlike anything neither side had seen before. In the command center, alarms blared again. "Unknown ship detected," shouted an analyst. President Chen stared at the screen, a mix of worry and hope on her face. "Is it friendly?" As if in answer, the mystery ship opened fire. But not on Earth. Its weapons tore through the Empire's fleet, destroying ship after ship with ease. High Commander Zix watched in horror as his mighty armada was reduced to scrap. "Retreat," he screamed. "Full retreat." The remaining Empire ships turned tail and fled, jumping to light speed as soon as they cleared the solar system. In just a few hours, the mighty Galactic Empire had been humbled by a planet they thought would be an easy conquest. As the last enemy ship disappeared, cheers erupted around the world. Humanity had faced its first interstellar threat and emerged victorious. But even as people celebrated, questions remained. Who were their mysterious saviors, and what would the Empire do next? One thing was certain. Earth had just announced its presence to the galaxy in a big way. The age of Earth as a small, isolated world was over. A new era of galactic politics and warfare had begun, with humanity right at the center. In the weeks following the Empire's defeat, Earth was buzzing with activity. The mysterious ship that had helped turn the tide of battle had vanished as quickly as it had appeared, leaving humanity with more questions than answers. In secret facilities around the world, scientists worked day and night to study the alien technology left behind. The wrecks of Empire ships provided a treasure trove of advanced tech, but the biggest prize was a mostly intact Imperial cruiser that had crash-landed in the Sahara Desert. Dr. Maria Rodriguez led the research team examining the cruiser. After weeks of intense study, she made a breakthrough that would change everything. "Madam President," she announced during an emergency meeting, her eyes shining with excitement, "we've cracked the secret of faster-than-light travel." The room erupted in gasps and excited chatter. President Chen leaned forward, her eyes intense. "Are you certain, Dr. Rodriguez?" Maria nodded confidently. "Yes, ma'am. Not only that, but we believe we can improve on the Empire's design. Our ships could potentially be even faster." President Chen stood up, a determined look on her face. "Ladies and gentlemen, this changes everything. We can no longer afford to simply defend Earth. It's time to take the fight to the Empire." Over the next few months, Earth's first interstellar warship was built in secret. They named it the ESS Defender, a powerful reminder of humanity's first victory against alien aggression. As the Defender neared completion, a task force was assembled. The best pilots, soldiers, and scientists from around the world were chosen for this historic mission. Captain Sarah Chen, the President's daughter and one of Earth's most decorated pilots, was selected to lead the mission. As she stood before her crew for the first time, she felt the weight of history on her shoulders. "We're about to embark on the greatest adventure in human history," she said, her voice strong and clear. "But more than that, we're going to show the galaxy that humanity is a force to be reckoned with." The day of launch arrived. The whole world watched as the ESS Defender rose from its hidden base, its sleek design a perfect blend of human ingenuity and alien technology. As the ship reached orbit, Captain Chen gave the order they'd all been waiting for: engage FTL drive. For a moment, nothing seemed to happen. Then suddenly, the stars stretched into lines of light, and the Defender shot forward at impossible speed. The journey that would have taken the Empire's ships weeks was completed in days. The Defender dropped out of FTL on the edge of a star system far from Earth. "Status report," Captain Chen called out. "All systems nominal, Captain," her first officer replied. "We've arrived at the coordinates of the Empire's nearest outpost." Chen nodded, a small smile on her face. "Let's introduce ourselves, shall we?" The Defender decloaked right in the middle of the Empire's defense fleet. Before the aliens could react, the Earth ship opened fire. Its weapons, enhanced versions of what they'd reverse-engineered, tore through the Imperial ships like paper. In less than an hour, the outpost was under Earth's control. As Captain Chen walked through the alien corridors, she felt a sense of pride. Humanity had taken its first step into the galactic stage. But their mission was far from over. Deep in the outpost's databanks, they found something that chilled them to the bone: plans for a massive invasion of Earth. The attack we repelled, Chen realized with horror. It was just a scouting force. With this new information, the urgency of their mission increased tenfold. They needed to establish a forward base, gather allies, and prepare for the coming storm. As the ESS Defender prepared to jump to its next target, Captain Chen sent a message back to Earth. It was short, but it captured the spirit of their mission. First objective complete. The Empire now knows. Mess with Earth at your own peril. Back on Earth, as President Chen read the message, she felt a mix of pride and worry. Humanity had won its first battle in space, but the war was just beginning. The next few months would determine the fate not just of Earth, but potentially of the entire galaxy. One thing was certain: humanity was no longer content to simply defend its home. The children of Earth were taking their destiny into their own hands, ready to forge their path among the stars. News of Earth's victory spread across the galaxy like wildfire. At first, many alien species didn't believe it. How could a small backwater planet defeat the mighty Galactic Empire? But as more reports came in, the truth became undeniable. On the planet Zircon, home to a race of crystalline beings, the ruling council gathered to discuss this shocking development. If the humans could do it, why can't we? One council member asked, his crystalline body shimmering with excitement. Similar conversations were happening on thousands of worlds across the galaxy. Species that had long suffered under the Empire's rule began to see a glimmer of hope. Meanwhile, the ESS Defender continued its mission. Captain Sarah Chen and her crew had become heroes, not just to humans, but to oppressed species everywhere they went. On the jungle world of Verdana, they made first contact with the Chlorophyllians, a plant-based species with amazing healing abilities. "We've heard of your victories against the Empire," the Chlorophyllian leader said, her leafy tendrils waving in awe. "We want to join your cause." Captain Chen smiled. "We'd be honored to have you as allies." As word of Earth's accomplishments spread, more and more species reached out, offering alliance and support. The ESS Defender became not just a warship, but a symbol of hope and freedom. Back on Earth, President Emily Chen was working tirelessly to coordinate this unexpected galactic diplomacy. The United Nations had evolved into the United Earth Government, with Chen at its head. "We need to be careful," she warned her advisors. "We're making friends, but we're also making powerful enemies." Her words proved prophetic. On the Empire's capital world, Emperor Xanthul was in a rage. "How dare these primitive humans challenge us?" he roared, his tentacles writhing in anger. "Prepare the World-Breaker fleet. We will crush Earth and any who stand with them." But the Empire's efforts to rally its forces were hampered at every turn. Planets that had once cowered in fear now openly defied Imperial edicts. Supply lines were disrupted by rebel attacks. Even some Imperial ships were deserting, their crews inspired by Earth's example. On the desert planet Aridus, the ESS Defender made a startling discovery. Hidden beneath the sand dunes was an ancient alien facility, filled with technology far beyond even the Empire's capabilities. "This changes everything," Dr. Rodriguez said as she examined the artifacts. "With this tech, we might be able to challenge the Empire's supremacy across the entire galaxy." But unlocking the secrets of the ancient facility wouldn't be easy. The Empire, learning of the discovery, sent a massive fleet to seize control of Aridus. Captain Chen knew they couldn't hold the planet alone. In a daring move, she sent out a galactic-wide call for aid. The response was beyond anything they could have imagined. Ships from dozens of species, large and small, began pouring into the Aridus system. Many were former Imperial vessels, now flying the flags of their liberated worlds. As the Imperial fleet arrived, they found not a single Earth ship, but a massive coalition armada waiting for them. The battle that followed would be remembered for centuries as the turning point in the Galactic War. The coalition forces, inspired by Earth's leadership and armed with weapons reverse-engineered from the ancient facility, fought with a ferocity that shocked the Imperial commanders. When the dust settled, the Imperial fleet was in ruins. The coalition had suffered losses, but they had won a decisive victory. As Captain Chen stood on the bridge of the Defender, watching Allied ships of all shapes and sizes celebrate their victory, she felt a sense of awe. "We came out here to defend Earth," she said to her crew. But we've ended up liberating half the galaxy. The battle at Aridus marked a new chapter in galactic history. The Empire, once thought invincible, was now on the defensive. Earth, once an isolated world on the galactic fringe, was now at the center of a growing alliance of free worlds. As news of the victory spread, more worlds rose up against their imperial oppressors. The shockwaves of Earth's defiance were reshaping the galaxy, and the age of the Galactic Empire was coming to an end. But the final battle was yet to come. Emperor Xanthul, enraged by the defeats, was gathering every ship, every soldier for one final, massive assault. The fate of Earth and the galaxy would soon be decided. The galaxy held its breath. Emperor Xanthul had called in every favor, every threat, every promise of power to assemble the largest fleet in the history of the Galactic Empire. Tens of thousands of ships darkened the skies of the Empire's last strongholds, preparing for what Xanthul called the final purge of the human plague. On Earth, President Emily Chen stood before the United Earth government, her face grim but determined. "We always knew this day would come," she said. "The Empire is making its last, desperate grab for power. But we are ready." Indeed, Earth had been preparing for this moment ever since the first Imperial ship entered their solar system. The planet bristled with defenses. Orbital platforms armed with weapons reversed engineered from alien tech stood guard. The ground-based ion cannons, which had proved so effective in the first battle, had been upgraded and multiplied. But Earth's greatest defense was not its weapons, but its allies. Ships from 100 different species filled Earth's orbit, a testament to how much the galaxy had changed. Species that had been bitter enemies for millennia now stood side by side, united against the Empire's tyranny. Captain Sarah Chen, aboard the flagship HFY Avenger, the advanced successor to the Defender, coordinated with the Allied fleet. The ship's bridge was a cacophony of alien languages as final preparations were made. "All ships report ready, Captain," her first officer reported. Sarah nodded, her eyes fixed on the tactical display. Now we wait. They didn't have to wait long. Space itself seemed to tear open as the Imperial fleet arrived, ship after ship pouring out of hyperspace. The sky above Earth turned from blue to black, blotted out by the sheer number of enemy vessels. For a moment, everything was silent. Then Emperor Xanthul's voice boomed across all frequencies. "Pathetic humans and their misguided allies, surrender now, and I may yet show mercy." President Chen's response was brief. "Earth does not surrender. Come and get us." With a roar of fury, Xanthul ordered the attack. The space around Earth erupted in a firestorm of energy weapons and explosions. The Empire's ships pressed forward, their numbers seeming endless. But Earth and its allies were ready. The planetary shield, now reinforced with alien tech, held firm against the initial barrage. Then Earth struck back. Ion cannons fired from the surface, their beams slicing through Imperial ships like paper. The Allied fleet moved in perfect coordination, using tactics that merged 100 different species fighting styles into something the Empire had never seen before. Captain Sarah Chen led from the front, the HFY Avenger dancing between enemy ships, its advanced weapons leaving a trail of destruction. "Remember," she called to her crew and all Allied ships, "we're not just fighting for Earth. We're fighting for every world the Empire has ever oppressed." The battle raged for hours. Imperial ships fell by the hundreds, then thousands, but still they came. Earth's defenses were strained to the breaking point. The planetary shield flickered, sections failing under the constant bombardment. Just when it seemed the tide might turn in the Empire's favor, a new player entered the field. A massive ship, dwarfing even the largest Imperial dreadnoughts, appeared at the edge of the solar system. It was the mysterious vessel that had aided Earth in the first battle, finally revealing itself. As the ship approached, a message was broadcast to all. "We are the Guardians, ancient protectors of this galaxy. We have watched and waited, and now we choose to stand with Earth." The Guardian ship's weapons blazed, each shot taking out multiple Imperial vessels. The tide of battle turned decisively. Seeing his defeat imminent, Emperor Xanthul made a final desperate move. His personal dreadnought, a planet-killer-class vessel, pushed through the defensive lines, aiming straight for Earth. "If I can't have this galaxy," he raged, "no one will." Captain Chen saw the danger. Without hesitation, she ordered the Avenger to intercept. "All power to forward shields," she commanded. "We're going to ram it." The Avenger collided with Xanthul's dreadnought just as it was powering up its main weapon. The resulting explosion was visible from the surface of Earth, a new, brief star in the sky. As the light faded, so did the Empire's resistance. With their emperor gone and their fleet in ruins, Imperial ships began to surrender or flee. The great battle was over. Earth had faced the full might of the Galactic Empire and emerged victorious. As cheers erupted across the planet and the Allied fleet, one thing was clear. A new era of galactic history had begun, with Earth and its allies at the center. But even in victory, challenges remained. The galaxy was in chaos, and someone would need to help restore order. Earth's greatest test was yet to come. The dust of the great battle had barely settled when Earth faced its next challenge, helping to rebuild a shattered galaxy. The fall of the Galactic Empire had left a power vacuum, and chaos threatened to engulf countless worlds. President Emily Chen stood before the newly formed Galactic Council, a gathering of representatives from every allied species. The meeting was held in a massive space station orbiting Earth, a symbol of humanity's new role in the galaxy. "We did not fight this war to become conquerors," President Chen said, her voice firm. "We fought for freedom, not just for Earth, but for all beings. Now we must work together to build a galaxy where no empire can ever threaten that freedom again." Her words were met with cheers from some representatives and cautious nods from others. Trust was still a rare commodity in a galaxy long ruled by fear. Over the next few months, Earth led efforts to establish a new galactic government. It wasn't easy. Centuries-old conflicts between species threatened to reignite. Some worlds, tasting freedom for the first time, were reluctant to join any galactic organization. But Earth had an advantage: its diversity. Humans, with their varied cultures and ability to adapt, proved to be excellent mediators. They could understand different viewpoints and find common ground where others saw only conflict. The Guardians, the mysterious advanced race that had helped turn the tide of the final battle, offered their support. They shared some of their technology, helping to rebuild worlds devastated by the war. But they made it clear that the younger races must find their own path. "We will guide, but not rule," the Guardian leader said. "The future of this galaxy belongs to you." One of the first acts of the new Galactic Federation was to officially ban the remnants of the Empire from Earth and its allies' space. The decree was broadcast across the galaxy. "The tyranny of the Galactic Empire is hereby forbidden in Federation space. Any attempt to revive the Empire will be met with the full force of our united strength." But it wasn't just military strength that Earth offered to its galactic neighbors. Human culture, art, music, literature, food, spread across the stars, mingling with alien traditions to create new, vibrant hybrid cultures. Earth became a center of galactic tourism, with aliens from thousands of worlds coming to see the planet that had changed the course of history. Technology advanced at an incredible pace as different species shared their knowledge. Humans, with their quick adaptability, were often at the forefront of these developments. Within a few years, Earth went from a backwater world to a hub of galactic innovation. Yet Earth faced challenges too. Some humans wanted to use their new power to dominate other races, arguing that they had earned the right through victory. It took wise leadership and the memory of their own struggle against the Empire to keep these impulses in check. Captain Sarah Chen, hailed as the hero of the final battle, had survived her ship's collision with the Imperial flagship. Now she led the Federation's peacekeeping fleet. "We must be vigilant," she often said. "Freedom isn't a state you achieve. It's a condition you must constantly work to maintain." 5 years after the fall of the Empire, President Chen stood once again before the Galactic Council. But this time, she was there to hand over leadership. The Federation had grown strong enough to elect its first non-human president, a wise chlorophyllian from Verdana. As Chen stepped down, she reflected on how far they had come. Earth, once a lonely planet on the edge of the galaxy, was now the heart of a thriving interstellar community. Humans worked alongside aliens on countless worlds, exploring the farthest reaches of space. "We've taken our first steps into a larger world," Chen said in her farewell speech. "The galaxy is vast, and I believe our greatest adventures are still ahead of us." As she spoke, a new ship was launching from Earth's orbital shipyards. The ESS Unity, the most advanced exploration vessel ever built, was setting off on a mission to go beyond the edges of known space. Its crew, a mix of humans and aliens, carried with them the spirit that had defeated an empire and united a galaxy. The message was clear. Earth's story in the cosmos was just beginning. The same determination that had preserved their freedom would now drive them to new discoveries, new challenges, and new horizons. The galaxy watched, wondered, and welcomed the children of Earth as they reached for the stars.